The batteries, do they tend to be the limiting factor when it comes to keeping the energy going, or is it getting enough solar for a given size home?
Yeah, so it's a combination of one, how much energy you need, so, which is a function of the weather. So if it's 6 degrees outside, you're going to need a lot more energy than if it's 70 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Right? Then how many days of autonomy do you need? In other words, how long does all that stuff have to run?
Yeah.
And then how much solar do you have to recharge the battery? So it's a very complex, dynamic design that factors in all that stuff. And it's still a judgment call because at the end, you don't know the weather, and the weather drives everything. And, do you have an outage during the week of 6-degree weather and cloudy every day? Do you design for that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. The system would be ginormous if you did that. Or do you design for more average typical days? We take what's called typical meteorological data, which is collected over 20 or 30 years, and then they give you a typical year, hourly data for a typical year, and we design the house to that. But also the owner has the option to cut back if the weather's really bad and they need to conserve batteries. They can always turn down the thermostat, turn off unneeded appliances, that kind of stuff. This house, you could turn off the heat and it'll stay comfortable for days and days without power at all on the HVAC, and that's the biggest energy consumer.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, compared to a house that's not designed in a way that retains the heat,
right.
then, I mean, within the same day, you'll be freezing.
Oh yeah, a typical house will start getting cold within hours of turning off the power. And overnight, it'll be very close to outside temperatures, and things will start freezing if it's really cold outside. This house could take a week to get to that, to get to be an uncomfortable temperature once the power goes out.